You're listening to Faith, Stewardship, and Insurance, Protecting Texas Churches. The show that gives pastors and church leaders the clarity they need to protect their people, property, and ministry.
Welcome back to Faith, Stewardship, and Insurance, Protecting Texas Churches. I'm your host, Ron Wadley with Insurance for Texans. We help church leaders protect their people and property with wisdom and clarity. Today, we are answering the direct question that can make or break your church's financial future. Will your Texas church insurance actually cover your armed security team? Tom was sitting in his Abilene church's board meeting on a Wednesday night in September. Over the last year, several concerning incidents at houses of worship around the country had convinced their leadership team that they needed to take church safety much more seriously. The congregation had grown. More visitors were walking through the lobby every single week, and children's ministry attendance was increasing. The church had truly become a highly visible part of the community. After months of thoughtful discussion, the board officially approved the creation of a volunteer security team. Several members of the congregation had military backgrounds, a few had spent years in law enforcement, and others simply possessed a strong, earnest desire to protect their church family. Everyone in the room agreed it was a great idea. But as the meeting was wrapping up, one of the elders raised his hand and asked a simple question. Does our insurance cover this? The room went completely silent. Nobody knew the answer. They had simply assumed that the church's standard general liability policy would automatically protect them if something happened. A few weeks later, their insurance review revealed a surprising and unsettling reality. Not every church insurance policy treats armed volunteer security teams the same way. Some commercial policies contain strict firearms exclusions, others place severe limitations on security activities, and many carriers require deep underwriting reviews before they will even consider providing coverage for an organized safety ministry. Suddenly, the conversation completely shifted. The issue wasn't whether the church should protect its flock. It was whether the church actually understood the liability that came with the method they chose. Churches all across the Lone Star State are paying closer attention to physical safety than ever before. But the problem is that creating an organized security team completely changes your church's risk profile in the eyes of an underwriter. A church member who legally carries a firearm on their own while attending worship services presents one set of considerations, but a church member who has been explicitly designated as part of an organized security team presents an entirely different set of risks. The moment your church identifies specific individuals as security personnel, assigns posts, develops procedures, or hands out badges, additional liability concerns emerge. Insurance companies want to know, how were these team members selected? Were background checks completed? What specific training was provided? And who is documenting it? One of the biggest misconceptions among Texas church leaders is that good intentions prevent legal problems. They don't. Let's say a security volunteer intervenes during a dangerous situation, acts heroically, and saves lives. A lawsuit can still happen. Bystanders, family members, or injured parties can still sue for damages. Even if your church did everything right, you can easily spend tens of thousands of dollars just defending your decisions in court. That is why verifying your coverage is so vital. This is where the fine print catches churches off guard. Many standard general liability policies contain a firearms exclusion. This is policy language that can prevent an insurance company from covering claims involving firearms. If a volunteer discharges a weapon, a firearms exclusion generally limits or completely eliminates the carrier's obligation to pay for the resulting legal defense costs or damages. General liability is great for common accidents like a slip and fall in the fellowship hall, but it was never engineered to handle the specialized risks of firearms. Stewardship means ensuring your physical security and financial protection are working hand in hand. Don't leave your church vulnerable by assuming your insurance policy automatically covers every security incident. If you are ready to stop guessing and verify exactly how your policy will respond, connect with our True Texas church insurance specialist today at insurancefortexans.com. We start with questions, not quotes. And to learn about church insurance in general, download your free copy of our book, The Promise of Certainty, at thepromiseofcertainty.com. I'm Ron Wadley, and this has been Faith, Stewardship, and Insurance, Protecting Texas Churches. Until next time, remember, your church's mission is too important to leave to chance.
Thanks for listening to Faith, Stewardship, and Insurance. Until next time, remember, insurance isn't just about policies. It's about safeguarding the mission God has called you to lead.